This makes my blood boil a little bit right here. Because this is exactly what I do not want. This is what I rail against. James Clyburn, he wants to lift every voice and sing a national hymn. It would be an act of bringing the country together. The gesture itself would be an act of healing. Everyone can identify with that song. That's right, in the act of healing, Representative James Clyburn calls for making Black National Anthem a national hymn. It'll help heal racial wounds. You know what will heal racial wounds? The end of white supremacy, wealth inequality. That'll help heal it. Money, land, tax deductions, stimulus, public goods, education, wiping away student debt. I mean, if people said, Tim Black, if someone would have asked me, if I got a phone call tomorrow and they said, Tim Black, or if they call not just me, let's make it about everybody. 1,000 Tim Black Wolfpack active members are called. And the question is, what would heal racial wounds? Not racial Mad Al, or racial Ray, racial wounds. And they took down what you said and put it in a big bucket. So now we got all the suggestions from the 1,000 Tim Black supporters, TBTV fans, Wolfpack members in the bucket. It's written on little pieces of paper. I bet you $10,000 if you chose 5 sheets of paper, none of them would say, lift every voice and sing, make it a national hymn. None of the paper would say that. Not a single slither of the paper would say anything about lift every voice and sing. It says stuff like Medicare for all, erase student debt, end mass incarceration, legalize cannabis, UBI, federal jobs guarantee, clean water, end the wars, bring home the troops, give land to indigenous people, reparations, you get it, reparations. It say all this stuff on it. Protect women, babies, feed the babies in poverty, in homelessness. It would say all of these things. And I'm telling you guys, I don't think that you could find, you went through all of them and just kept picking till your arm got tired. So you need to put your arm to sing. I don't think you would find the word. Now, you might find one dummy. Jim Clyburn has been the South Carolina representative for a long time. He's the third most powerful, behind Steny Hoyer, behind Nancy Pelosi, for the Democratic Party. And he is this out of touch. He's this out of touch with the people. Yet he continues to get reelected and chosen and listened to and interviewed. I've said it angrily. I've said it nicely. I've said it with a smile. It's time for his ass to go. No matter how I say it, certain people get offended. How dare you? Jim Clyburn's a pillar of he's an old guy who's on the dole taking pharmaceutical money, willing to lie, willing to throw us under the bus, want to be a fake kingmaker, worried more about his friends getting good jobs, so than worried about the whole of black community getting a fair shake. And that's the problem. You can like him as a person. You can go have a dinner with him, fine. But as him as a public servant, he sucks. And even if he does mean well, it doesn't matter. He's not doing well for us. And he's out of touch with what we want. This is the type of shit people come up with when they have no connection to the people whatsoever. None. We're not going to give you money. We're going to give you a song. It's not even a new song, Johnson. It's a song we already had. Yeah, I know how we could bring all the races together. You know? What you going to say? What you going to say, Jim? Get rid of qualified immunity? No, that's radical. No. Defund the police and send that money to other places and fund other things in the community, such as child services and unemployment services and education for people in the neighborhood, so less people will, more people have a start in life or a little bit, more stable. So there's less likely that there will be crime to begin with, and then we wouldn't need as many cops. Oh, no. Shut up. No way. That's radical communist talk. You want to burden people. Well, what you gonna do, Jim? What else is there to do? What you gonna do? You're gonna legalize cannabis? Oh, hell no. We're gonna sing a song. And singing songs always helped the blacks in the 50s and the 60s. We sang songs. I thought it was because you protested and you resisted and you used political capital and you appealed to the more fiber and you got people on board and you start talking about things that, that impacted whites and blacks in the whole world. And that's how you no, it was the songs. It was the songs that did it. All we need is a song. To make it a national hymn, it would bring the world together, it would bring the country together. It would say to people, you aren't singing a separate national anthem, you're singing the country's national anthem. The gesture itself will be an act of healing. Everybody can identify with that song. Folks, this is one way in which you delegitimize claims by African Americans, undermine the push for reparations, undermine the push for wealth equality, further allow the ignoring of issues related to the black community, and pacify those dumb enough, but most people are not dumb enough to be pacified by this. But it's the way that you let, and this is the worst part about it, forget what it does to black people. It's what it does to white people who just look for excuses instead of doing tangible things that actually make meaningful change. There's groups and studies and university studies and groups and there's entire professorships and that have studied things that would increase the likelihood of us being a more respectful, reasonable, more of a, what would they call it? A more perfect union. There are studies that have been conducted of what needs to be done in order to make this thing, to make America more just. And I'm telling you guys, like whether it was Dr. Derek Hamilton or Dr. Sandy Darity or Dr. Cornel West or Dr. Joy DeGruy or any of these great scholars, guys, I've never, ever, and I've had everybody on the show except for Dr. Joy DeGruy, and I'm going to get Dr. Joy DeGruy at some point. She's amazing. But I've never read in any of their articles, or their speeches that we needed to change a damn song or bring a song. No, they haven't. So guys, Johnson's, all I'm saying is this does damage. It's not just funny. I joke too much sometimes because this is not funny at all. This is not a game. This lets people off the hook. This is detrimental to our union. This is the opposite of what's needed. It proves he's out of touch and needs to go. It proves that he is not aligned with the people that he represents. But it's also just patently false, wrong, in the wrong direction. And it sends a horrible message. There was a movie called A Soldier Story. famed actor Adolph Caesar. You should watch that sometimes. Jim Clyburn, you really should watch it sometimes. You're not Adolph in that movie. You're the guy who had to go. And Jim Clyburn, your time is up. The people like you, your time is up. The new ones that you are anointing, who will follow suit with your lazy lack of proactive politics, lack of progressive politics, lack of pro-support for black people politics, all of you need to go. Shameful, shameful stuff, man. Yeah, we don't need to, build on women's rights in the workplace. We don't need to protect children. No, let's just make a song about it. Hey, let's dust off this old song I got laying over in the corner. Let's everybody sing that song, and all of a sudden the kids won't get abused. All of a sudden the women aren't getting battered. All of a sudden all these things change. No, it wouldn't work for nobody else but for black people. For black people. Nothing tangible. Let's sing a song together. Give me a damn break, y'all. Sometimes it seems like our biggest impediment are not David Duke, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. It's people like Jim Clyburn, man. People that get a little bit, that get their money, they get the slot, and all they do is shit on us and hold us back for their own advancement. That's all they do. They don't advocate for us. When they do, it's weak, lame-ass, fake advocacy like this. And then people that don't want to do anything for us say, but Jim Clyburn said, Jim Clyburn, he's black, and he said, yeah, he said. And who chose Jim Clyburn? Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.